Hello, wisdom seekers. This is Mohit Arora, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mohit Reads. Today, we are going to start with another chapter of the book, The Art of Laziness. So, guys, without any further delay, let's start with the chapter. Your comfort zone is your enemy. The chapter starts with a beautiful quotation which states that a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. One of the biggest reasons people are lazy and put everything off until tomorrow is because they get too comfortable with their lives. You may not wish to change the way things are going because it's too much of an effort to do otherwise. That's an easy option, but it doesn't lead to the growth that you want. Growth demands that you step out of your comfort zone and do the hard things. It's easy to spend all your free time watching movies and scrolling through your social media feed all day, but that's not meaningful. Your body and your brain know you are wasting your time. That's why you feel so bad after spending time doing nothing instead of being engaged in something meaningful. The lethargy you experience drains you of the inclination to get up and start actively engaging in life. When this happens, nothing is going to change automatically. You need to push past that cozy comfort zone inertia and start to make things happen. After leaving their comfort zone, nobody says that they wish they stayed there. Keep it simple. Whenever you're trying to attempt something new, try to keep it as simple as possible. Trying to do too much can have a boomerang effect, bringing you back to earth with a thud. The less complicated you keep things, the better. Obsessing about all the things that can go wrong will also backfire, leading you to retreat into doing nothing. Most of the time, things don't go as badly as you may think, but you won't know that until you give it a go. What you should do is start as soon as possible. You need to have a sense of urgency and the urge to do things quickly. Not the kind of urgency to achieve the desired results, but the urgency to actually do the work. Let's say, for instance, you want to learn how to create a website. You can start right now and you can keep putting it off. Even if your first plan doesn't go exactly as you had expected, that's okay. Just keep making adjustments, and if you need to change your plan altogether, take a flexible approach. Do whatever it is your wish to do as soon as possible. Speed is crucial because you don't have as much time as you think. Keep things simple and act on them with lightning speed. Most decisions should probably be made with somewhere around 70% of the information you wish you had. If you wait for 90% in most cases, you are probably being slow. That's a quotation stated by Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. Start to think a little bit differently. If everyone is thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking. That's a quotation stated by George S. Patton. You do not need to think just like everyone else or follow the crows. You can judge for yourself. You can think like no one else, and that's what makes you unique. In fact, by thinking differently and doing things differently from everyone else, you will get different results. If you do what everybody else is doing, you will only get the same results. Neither should you keep doing what you have been doing in the past and expect different outcomes. The end result is likely to be the same as before. If, for example, you sit on your couch all day complaining about your lot, you know what the result of that will be, right? Parkinson's Law. So, what is Parkinson's Law? This law was introduced by the writer and naval historian Cyril Parkinson. Basically, the law states that the work expands to fill the time allotted for completion. So, if you allow yourself 2 hours to finish a task, it will take 2 hours. But if you only have 1 hour, you will find a way to complete the task in an hour. If you cannot start a project or it takes too long to complete, understanding Parkinson's law can aid in overcoming procrastination. Setting shorter deadlines creates urgency and motivates action. With less time available, you are more likely to become more focused and efficient. Breaking tasks into manageable chunks and prioritizing effectively. By recognizing that work expands to fill the time allotted, you can harness this principle to combat procrastination tendencies and make sure that important tasks are completed efficiently within time frame. Set clear goals. It's important to set clear goals that are both possible and can be achieved quickly. Setting huge, ambitious goals isn't bad, but the problem is if you are a super lazy person, you won't work towards that goal because it would seem too hard and impossible to achieve. That's why at the start, you should set small, easy goals that can be achieved. Goals should also be clear. For example, a clear goal is wanting to lose 2 kilograms in 1 month. An unclear goal is simply wanting to lose weight. A goal that can't be measured and has no time duration, it's not a goal. It's likely expecting a miracle to happen. Write down your goals. It's a good idea to write down your goals on paper, and if you don't usually do so, now is the time to start. When you have clearly written goals and read them regularly, they will help to motivate you. You may experience some pangs of guilt if you don't do what you have written down. So, it is a useful habit to adopt. Even if you only achieve half of your goals, that's still better than nothing. Don't overcomplicate things. I'm not a big fan of all the various apps people use to measure their productivity, although some people may find them helpful. You don't need any app to focus on your goals. All you need are two things, a pen and a paper. That's it. Why overcomplicating simple stuff? Spending so much time on apps can actually be a waste of time, and there's nothing more effectively than good old fashioned writing. All you have to do is list the following: what you want to achieve, how can you achieve what you want to achieve, how you can go about achieving it, the time scale you have set for yourself, how you can measure your progress, and lastly, how realistic goal is. Think long term. There are two ways to approach life. You can think long term and do the things that will be valuable for you in the years to come, or you can satisfy your short term pleasures and ignore the future. It's crucial to bear in mind that the actions you take in present are going to affect you later in life. One thing that I can tell you for sure is that you will always regret being lazy. Laziness feels good in present as it gives an immediate dopamine hit. Doing something new is hard and doesn't have that instant kick, but as the years pass, you will always regret not doing the things you wanted to do. We live in a society where instant gratification has become the norm. Everyone wants everything and they want it now. While that may be okay in some respects, the reality is that striving to achieve anything of value takes time and effort. That might involve a fair amount of stress and a few sacrifices along the way, but it's worth it if you want to achieve your future goals. I'm not saying avoid all the fun in the present, but sometimes it's necessary to make small sacrifices to secure a better future. Take risks. Don't be afraid of taking risks. If you want to achieve anything in your life, you must jump from a comfortable position to an uncomfortable one. The regret of not taking a risk later on in life can weigh heavily on you, especially as there is no going back. A very famous saying by the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, which goes like, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. No good, no bad. It's a good idea not to fall into the trap of thinking that whatever happens to you is either good or bad. Personally speaking, a lot of bad things have happened to me, and I'm happy they did because they changed the trajectory of my life. Here's a great story to exemplify that. There was a farmer with a horse that helped him in the fields. The villagers constantly told the farmer how lucky he was to have such a great horse. Maybe he would reply. One day the horse ran away. The villagers came to the farmer to express their sympathies. That's too bad, the villagers said. Maybe, the farmer replied. A few days later, the horse returned home with 10 strong wild horses. That's great, isn't it? The villagers said. Maybe, the farmer again replied. The next day, the farmer's son was riding one of the horses when he fell off and broke his leg. The villagers arrived to express their dismay. That's too bad, they said. Maybe, the farmer replied. A military officer marched into the village the next day, recruiting able bodied young men for the war. The farmer's son, with his broken leg, was left behind. The villagers were joyful. Your son has been spared. What fantastic luck! The farmer smiled and said, Maybe. So, guys, that is all for today. I hope you all would be enjoying the content and have learned something new. If you want to listen more parts for the same, then subscribe to my channel. We'll see you in the next video. Until next time, happy reading. This is Mohit Arora signing off. Bye bye.